Alright, so welcome back to the Castlevania Ravenloft RPG. Last we left our adventurers, Alexandra had an adventure in the afterlife. Jack Motley had an adventure in a lake with saving a young girl who was thrown in a sack and then thrown overboard. The person that did that's now dead. And then they found a wizard that had a very sexy accent. Meanwhile, Elias and Mr. Jeeves decided to let Jack lead the direwolves off in that direction up towards the lake as they went to Vallaki. They're not too terribly far away from Jack, but Jack's clear on the other side of the lake at this point, and somewhere in between are a pack of hungry direwolves that are out to find an easy meal. So let's pick up with Elias and Mr. Jeeves arriving at the gates of Vallaki. Of course, you're all let in. You're well known by this point. What would you two like to do?
You did test the recording, right?
I did. It was successful.
Okay.
All right. It seems that not much trouble has befallen the town. I don't see much commotion. Nothing seems amiss. I suppose we should check on the Blue Water Tavern and see how they're doing.
Indeed.
What do you think?
That sounds good.
All right.
Well, I guess I'm still carrying Alexandra over my shoulder right now, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, to the inn.
All right. On your way to the Blue Water Inn, let me get the map of Vallaki up here.
Nothing like entering a pub with a dead body over your shoulder.
As one does.
Pretty common for us, you know.
All right. The first thing you pass is St. Andrew's Church. And then as you continue throughout the town, you can't see the town square from here, but eventually you make your way up to the Blue Water Inn. And once you get inside, the last time that you saw everyone, you were very concerned, saying that they should be ready to put up their defenses and hold people in here. But it looks like everything has pretty much gone as expected. And as you go through the town, you notice something that you haven't really seen before in Vallaki, and that is a lack of all of these proclamations for some kind of stupid parade or event or something that the burgomaster seems to like to do. So
Awesome.
It looks like he may have actually taken some of Jack's advice about not doing that as often. But yes, you're well greeted in the inn, and they're very distraught that Alexandra is dead again.
Again.
Hello, friends. It seems like it's been ages, but maybe just a matter of days. How are y'all doing?
Very, very good, but it looks like you're not faring very well. What's happened to your friend?
Yes, we were beset by, I don't even know what to call it, a giant horned beast followed us in the ruins of Perez down south in a church that we were sent to consecrate, but to purify. I was successful in doing that. I could feel Strahd's influence leave the area, but as we were going through there, this beast was chasing us, and Alexandra didn't make a gap she tried to cross, and she fell. Jeeves was able to retrieve her, but as you can see, she's no longer with us.
Well, let's talk more privately and go to a room. So, Erwin nods to Danica to take care of things down here, and he takes you up to the room where Rictavio used to stay. And it seems like a nice private room upstairs off to its own. And there, Erwin says, I can't believe that Alexandra's fallen again. This is extremely bad news. Is there anything we can do to help?
Well, we are very shortly going to be off to see our old friend who used to occupy this room, Mr. Rictavio, and of course, you know who he really is. But that will be our next step for trying to see if we could help Alexandra. Hopefully, he would have some idea of something we could do for her, but otherwise, I don't know. And while I have your attention, though, sir, I wanted to point out that while we were down in the swamp, we came upon a a hut where some of your brothers are being kept in cages. Quite a few ravens that we believe are your fellows.
Is Jack Motley with them?
Jack Motley was leading away a large pair of or a large group of grizzly-sized werewolves that were chasing us, and I do not presently know what became of them. He was going over near the lake last we saw.
I'll send someone after him to find out where he's at currently. As for Alexandra, there is a rumor. I don't know if anything can be said much more than a rumor, but one of our agents of the Keepers of the Feather had said that a strange occurrence had happened in Kresk. The burgomaster's son there was said to have died, but he saw that he was walking. He looks like he's come back from the dead.
Really? The burgomaster of the ruins down there?
No, you're speaking of Borez in the swamplands. I'm speaking of Kresk up by St. Markovia's Abbey.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Because we were planning on heading there soon as well, because we have business in that area too. St. Markovia's Abbey sounds like quite the interesting place. What more can you tell me about it?
Kresk is very shut off from the rest of the land. They don't really let anyone in. Only the Martikovs can deliver wine there. They are solely independent. They depend only on themselves and they have no trade. So, aside from a need for wine, no one really knows what goes on there. But the Keepers of the Feather do keep an eye on it. And we happen to notice that because the burgomaster has lost all of his family and has no one to pass on the name, it was a tragedy that was well known throughout that town. So they had overheard that he had died. But it seems that our agent happened to see that the young boy was still alive.
Did he seem different in any way that you were aware of?
No, I wouldn't know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He didn't seem
Otherwise-
like a monster as far as we were told, though.
I see. All right. Well, Erwin, otherwise, can you tell me anything about the man known as Longinus, surname Markovia?
All we know of Saint Markovia is that many years ago he waged a campaign to destroy Strahd, but it was unsuccessful. The abbey has probably been abandoned ever since.
Well, interesting bit of news for you then. I was able to discover I thought it was merely a rumor. I wasn't sure it was true in the text or not of what I had seen in the past, but the actual spear of Longinus was found near the ruins of Perez.
Are you saying that the Longinus is the same person as Markovia?
It would seem so, my friend. I couldn't believe it either. I couldn't even touch the relic when I found it. Jack is holding on to it for right now.
He crosses himself in a very Catholic manner.
Yes, I feel you, brother. I'm not quite sure how to take this, but it had the blood stain of Christ upon it, and it was mended together like the artifact had been pieced to be wielded as a weapon. So apparently it has some strength against Strahd. I don't know if you're aware of this either, but I have acquired quite a bit of interesting information from the tome that I was given, and thank you again for all your hospitality. And it has shown me that this weapon has power against Strahd, so I guess it's in God's will that I use it.
Well, I don't know about using such a rare relic as a weapon, but it does make sense.
Yes, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with it either, but I see no other course at this point, and I'll have to keep praying about it, and I'm still not quite ready to even hold the thing in my own hands, but hopefully Jack is all right in protecting it. I don't think he's revering it quite as much as we would, but he understands the significance of it, hopefully.
Well, we'll send with someone immediately to find Jack.
Yes, I don't know where he had gone off to. The plan was to meet back here at Valaki after we had been separated, because as you know, he can travel quite differently than we can, but I'm not sure where he's gone.
Did you happen to grab his things then? if he's traveling as you're saying.
Yes, I believe we did. Out of character, didn't we get Jack's things?
You did.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to carry that item. So you have it, actually.
Okay, so probably between either me or Jeeves, we have it then. Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. It just slipped Elias's mind then.
That's okay. Mr. Jeeves was probably carrying it. He likes to pick up things that belong to other people.
Maybe.
Yes, actually, come to think of it, so when Jack transforms, he drops his things. I believe actually Jeeves might have acquired that item.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to lay my eyes on it.
Yes, I thought you might, because it was quite a sight for me as well. Jeeves, if you don't mind, could you carefully show Erwin the spearhead?
Of course. So I pull it out of my jacket, hoping to sell it later, but whatever. Yeah, and I hand it over.
Don't even joke about that.
Well, he doesn't take it. He just looks at it in your hands, and he says, "Holy Mary, Mother of Joseph." It doesn't look like it can be used much as a weapon. It's just a spearhead like that. But if you need it reforged, we may be able to help.
That makes me a little queasy thinking of this being forged by someone, but yeah, I think that may be necessary. I will at least need a worthy haft for the weapon. I don't know what mounting would be appropriate, but yes, that will probably need to be done if we are to stand a chance against the demons.
Well, we can get working on that immediately.
Can you? I would trust you as my brother in doing that. I could tell that Van Richten was quite the believer himself, so I know you all are good folks, and I trust you. And I'm glad that no harm has befallen you or the town, from what we could tell. Did you by chance lay eyes upon a red-haired woman that seemed demonic in some way?
No, I don't exactly know what you're talking about.
Well, someone else that we saw in the swamp was a naked woman riding a levitating skull. You probably would have remembered that, but she's from outside these lands. She's from our world, or outside of Barovia, and she's quite the powerful demon.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for her.
Yes, I'm afraid if you see her, it might be too late. She likes turning people against others and burning falsified witches and all sorts of things. But all right then. Well, I believe I will leave the spear with you then, and I hope that you take it under prayerful consideration. I know that you will, of exactly how to handle the weapon, and just thank you so much again for all that you've done for us.
This is perhaps a sign that things may actually change here in Barovia.
Yes, I believe so, sir. And as I was saying, down further south, I could really feel the influence of him leave as I purified that site. So I think things may be turning around for us. Of course, we do have we have to take care of Alex somehow. I hate that this has happened again, so we're going to have to hurry, if you wouldn't mind, to see what we can do about that. But yes, I think things may be able to come around for us.
Are you going to wait here for the spear? It might take about a day.
No, I'm afraid we can't afford to wait, but I will certainly come back.
We'll send it to you if you let us know where you'll be.
Well, after we meet with Van Richten, depending on what we need to do, we'll definitely be heading to Kresk and then St. Markovia's Abbey. So sending it to Kresk might be a good idea.
We can't go in their walls, but we can meet you outside. But
Okay.
We'll send you a messenger. At least it'll be easy enough if you follow the ravens.
True enough, and I would hate for someone to get lost along the way or be beset by beasts or bandits or whatever and lose the spear, so we'll have to be careful.
The Keepers of the Feather have our ways. We should be fine.
Yes, you certainly do.
All right. Well, we'll take great care of this, and I hope it's in a much more battle-ready shape by the time you next see it. And then he excuses himself and takes it. You see him giving some orders to Danica, and they immediately start like closing up shop. They excuse the rest of their visitors, ones that aren't staying, and paying people that are at the tavern to stay overnight. And they send a few ravens in different directions.
All right. Yeah, I didn't think they had any smiths there, so I guess they're going to call on some friends, huh?
It looks like they might actually be getting ready to take it somewhere.
Okay. Well, I'm going to trust them because I have no reason not to.
Okay.
And all right. So Jeeves, unless you have some other business here in Vallaki, I think we'd. Well, I guess we should see if they could find anything out about Jack first, though. What do you think?
Probably wise.
Right.
Speaking
Well,
of Jack, let's skip over to Jack if he's ready. Logan, are you at a good point where we can switch over to Spotlight to you?
I think he said be right back, but it looks like BFB instead.
Oh, I see now. Poor Error and Myrtle. Oh, they're fine. I thought you guys left them with the church or something.
We left them at the Blue Water Inn, but they just got to see Alex dead. Again.
Oh, yeah, that may have happened. Alright, so in Jack's absence, we'll just continue get you guys out of Vallaki, or are you going to stay and just wait for the Ravens to find him? Which may take just as long as you. Only they fly, so.
Well, I guess we're going to leave that in their hands if they locate Jack to tell him to meet us on the road or at Van Richten's maybe. We'll just leave it at that. So Elias will approach Erwin, and he'll say that, sir, one thing before we go, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Yes, if you manage to make contact with Jack or find out where he is, tell him to meet us at Van Richten's. That is our next destination, and it's not too far.
Yes, I informed my friends to fill Jack in on your intentions.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, we don't want to be stuck waiting too long, but hopefully he's all right. Thank you again.
Godspeed to you.
And you as well.
All right. Well, It's not long before they're saddled up on horses and heading to the East Gate.
Okay. So, all right, Jeeves, anything else you want to do in town before we depart?
Oh, Danica says that if you're going to Kresk, this might help. And she wheels in a barrel of wine.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, they're short on wine, I take it, then.
Yeah, from what Erwin said, it sounds like no one really goes in or out unless it's a wine delivery.
They don't have much contact, yeah. Yes, thank you, Danica. I'll be sure to take care of that. It's very generous of you.
All right.
Can we manage a wagon or something to transport that, plus Alex, plus all the crap we're carrying?
If you go to the stockyards, they might sell something like that.
I mean, I guess I could just leave it that we roll everything, but, kind of...
You roll Alex down the road?
No. The barrel, but...
Hey, why not? Her player, Puppet Master, has fallen down a mountain and gotten leaves in her hair,
Well, you have enough coin where the Burgermaster had rewarded you, right?
Did we ever get that?
Maybe you didn't.
Yes, you did. You should have applied it to your inventory because Alex got hers.
Yeah, I just looked at my inventory. I did. Yeah, I didn't have that much gold before.
Yeah, you've got more than enough to acquire horses and a wagon if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that because we can travel faster, plus have more space to carry things, and it makes more sense. So let's do that.
Okay, well, you go back down to the place where you had once saw the odd-looking carnival wagon, and kind of close to the old coffin maker's shop. So this is a very sentimental area for you, of course. Let's see how much a wagon is going to cost you. A wagon only costs 35 gold, and... well, that's before markup. Hold on. And a draft horse would be 50. And then let me check the shopkeeper's rates. They're not as bad as bill drafts. That's all I remember.
And I'm assuming this speeds up our travel and all that.
It does. Yeah, Gunther and Yelena Arsik are the ones that had accidentally pissed off Jack. But they seemed like good nature, although maybe a bit racist folks. Oh, yeah, 5 times the price. It's not as bad as 10 times the price.
For that much gold, it's still significant.
Yeah, let me see here. Where's my calculator? There it is. And we were looking at a draft horse and a wagon. Let's see. 425 gold.
Woo. Can we get a town hero discount?
You can ask them that. Roll for persuasion.
Okay.
Ooh, a 20. Yeah, I'm gonna say they're gonna give you a 25% discount.
Nice.
Good. All right.
So yeah, 320 coppers. I mean, gold. 320 gold is what they're asking.
All right. 320. I can do that.
You can use some of Alex's money. I mean, you've got her there.
Excuse me?
Hey, you're
Gonna do
heavy. You can't walk on your own. This is your way of pulling your own weight. I'm just kidding. That's up to them. I'd do it. I'm just saying.
You do not touch my gold.
It's the Alex revival cost. It's a fee, you know.
Yes.
But no, we're not going to do that. I subtracted the 320 from Elias, so someone else can take the next like significant expense we have. Yeah. Also, another thing, Mike, I'm asking out of character. I would assume that if we have a horse and wagon, we'd be less likely to be beset by encounters, wouldn't we?
No.
A horse just needs more meat to go around, dude.
Well, hopefully we don't have to defend it or anything, too. Kind of crazy.
Well,
That's
just
That's
the-
role. That's role
It's
playing.
meat.
That's role playing a little too much. So forget I even said that. All right.
It's meat on legs.
Never mind.
Too late, Brent. Now you gave him ideas.
All right. So that's expensive ass horse, man. But okay. Because like we gave somebody like a day's wages was like a handful of gold, like 4 or 5 gold pieces or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's a horse. They're
Okay. So we're not renting it; it's ours.
It's
correct?
yours, yeah. It is yours.
Okay.
You could
All
probably sell it back to him, but only at probably like,
Back.
85 or 100 gold or so, max.
Logan back.
All right.
Jack is back.
Hey, Logan, we bought a horse and a wagon. So
Yay,
exciting.
goers. We need to
So-
name the horse.
yeah, I was just thinking about that too. We'll have to decide on the name.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Can we decide what it looks like too, Mike? Or are you gonna tell us, or does
Go
it matter?
ahead. You can. I'm gonna say it looks like yes. Hold on, I will pull up an image.
It looks like yes.
Don't pull up.
It's definitely a horse.
Don't pull up a dead ass half zombie horse from Central, like the riders in Olrox's quarters.
Oh boy, I have the perfect picture. Let's just see if I
Oh
can.
god, this is a beat up rickety old piece of crap horse, isn't it?
Now this isn't exactly the same because it has one extra horse in this picture.
Oh, you can use the Rondo horses.
Oh, you had to say it, didn't you? Yeah.
When you said two, I was like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put it on Facebook.
Oh, that's cool. We get to have like the Rondo of Blood stagecoach thing. That's great.
Yeah. Let's see. Put this in the right folder in Fantasy Grounds, and now it should be available.
I'll be right back.
Alright.
By the way, I
Yeah.
posted our horse on Facebook.
Mark has posted a horse on Facebook. What happens when you give a horse a squeaky chicken? I'm sure that's hilarious. Because I love squeaky chickens. I like to grab a whole group of them, hug them, and then inhale their screams.
Wow.
That wasn't weird, was it?
No.
Just a bit.
All right. Okay, well, there's your horse and wagon, and I'm assuming you guys are going to start getting ready to head off. But if Logan is back, we'll see what Jack Motley's doing. You with us, Logan? No. All right, so the wagon begins its trek outside Valaki, and it's not going to take as much time to get to the tower if that's your destination, or you could go straight to the Abbey, either one, or you can start searching for Logan.
Well, we'll stick to the plan of going to the tower first.
All right. To the tower we go.
That damn bridge.
All right. Strangely enough, you find another bundle when you get to the bridge of commoners or common-sized clothes. I'm tongue-tied. Sorry. You find a bundle that contains one set of common clothes sized for an adult human. It looks like
That
it was
again.
stashed away. Yeah, it looks like a common stashing point for someone's clothes for some reason. Other than that, it's unremarkable.
Right.
And then you can continue past the bridge, and you're going to take the trail. It's a little bit harder for your wagon to get down this trail because it's not a well-worn path, but there is a path here that's good enough to get to. Unless you wanted to take the other direction. It's really up to you. It'll be about the same amount of time either way.
We'll take the path we're already on.
Alright. Jack says, Mike, it looks like I'm going to need you to fix the picture and token for me. Okay. I think I can do that. Let me see here. Tokens. Campaign. Shared. Blam. There's a Jack. And, portraits.
So we're gonna call our host Rubber Chicken.
Are we?
No.
Probably not.
No.
I propose we name him Captain Squeakers.
Yeah, Logan, I've already done it all. Are you available to where you can voice chat with us yet?
Yes.
All right. I wanted to check in with you and see how things are going up there with the girl that you saved and the host that is keeping you in some mansion.
Well, after a little while, I would probably have let the host to his own devices, at least for a time, because I don't want to piss him off too much. We're going to try and rest long enough for me to get my spell slots back, all of them.
Okay, that's a long rest.
Yes. Last time the idea was we were going to wait here about 8 hours because it'd probably take them at least that long to find me. So 8 to 10, I think is what was said. I'm going to probably try and get to know the girl a little more, rest, find out where the hell she needs to get back to, why she was getting thrown in a lake maybe.
Sure. She explains to you that the man was Bluto, and her name's Arabelle. And Bluto, he was a fisherman that had often fished the lake, but the lake had kind of dried up to where it wasn't yielding any more fish. It seemed as if it was cursed or something. Bluto seemed like he was in a trance, and she just remembers him approaching her near the camp to the south of Valaki in the woods. There apparently is where she is currently staying with her father and some other Vistani that she's mentioned. And she said that while she was out playing, even though she was supposed to be under watch by someone else, Bluto came up and just put her in this big burlap sack while she was kicking and screaming. He took her off to the lake, went out there, and the look on his face before she was in the bag just looked like he was in some kind of trance. And then the next thing she knows, she's in the water, and then you came to her rescue. So that's about all that she can really tell you. She's very young.
I think we said 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys have quite a child collection going on. Paulton, Myrtle, Error, and now Arabelle. And I'm probably forgetting a few kids.
Yeah, I think.
Love.
Well, Milov's a bit older, but yeah. He counts as a kid that you've acquired.
Hey, he's a kid that Jack acquired, not the rest of the party.
True. Yeah, he's going to be helping out the Burgermaster from now on, I believe. So yeah, Jack seems to be wanting to collect himself there at the tower. So for the rest of the adventure, it really kind of depends on what you guys do and how long you want to spend at the tower and what you do there. Maybe a good opportunity to read up on the Tomb of Strahd if nothing crazy is going on at the tower.
Tome!
Damn it.
It's okay.
The tome.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. Thanks.
Cool.
Every time I'm going to mess it up. I don't mind if you correct me. It's a running meme at this point.
Every time. Yep.
Every tome you say it wrong. So when you get to the tower, it is uneventful. There's no crazy things that happen on the way. Here's just kind of a diagram of the tower. You can kind of see inside it on this diagram, but not really where you guys are at. That's just a little bit of flavor for you. You come to a cold mountain lake enclosed by misty woods and rocky bluffs. Thick fog creeps across dark, still waters. The trail ends at a grass-covered causeway that stretches 100 yards across the lake to a flat, marshy island with a stone tower on it. The tower is old and decrepit, with collapsing scaffolds cling to one side, where a large gash split the wall. Time-worn griffin statues, their wings and flanks covered with moss, perch atop buttresses that support the walls. Parked near the base of a tower, within sight of the entrance, is a barrel-topped wagon splattered with mud. The tower stands about 80 feet tall.
We haven't seen this wagon here before, have we?
You were kind of
It's-
too far away from it, I believe, the last time you passed.
We've never been inside the tower?
No, I don't think so. Have you? Am I forgetting a complete adventure here?
I don't know if they actually went inside, but they did visit here before when Alex first came back to life and after they made the deal with Strahd. But they stopped here on the way back home from Yesterhill.
Well, you certainly don't remember seeing the wagon before, but there's definitely a wagon there now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember the wagon at least. And I don't-
Elias and Alex would remember the wagon. It's the same one from town, isn't it?
No, you've never seen this one.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
Rictavio's carnival wagon is not in sight.
Oh, I
Right.
thought that was what it was. Never mind.
No. All right. Yeah, I don't think Elias has been inside here before. I think his only encounter with it was seeing it from afar when we saw the same picture diagram. Okay, so let's see if he's home. First of all, we'll walk up to the door.
All right. When you get to the door, let's see. The tower door is made of iron with no visible handles or hinges. In the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol. A connected series of lines with 8 stick figures are set around it. Carved into the lintel above the door is the word Kazan. And the door looks like this. Resize. Let's make that small size. Yeah. That didn't reset the client view at all. Why not?
It's cool. I can see it all.
Oh. Huh. Well, I guess if you make it smaller and then just kind of zoom out, you'll be able to see the whole door. But yeah, there
Well,
is a knocker on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say just now that Elias tries the knocker.
All right. Clack, clack, clack on the knocker, and eventually the door opens up, and you see Rudolph Van Richten. He greets you, and he looks concerned because he only sees 2 of you. What's happened to your friends? I can't remember what Van Richten sounds like, but I know I always screw it up. Did my internet cut? Hello, wife. He says, "Where is everyone?"
For you, so hopefully I can get to them all. But Jack is currently well, we're not sure exactly where Jack is, but he was leading the Blue Water Tavern and currently trying to locate him. Alexandra, well, the long story.
Oh, guys, hold on. My internet
Mate.
connection is being terrible.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm not even using the bots. I might as well cut them. Brent's voice is just like not coming through.
Huh. Nope.
I can hear you just fine, Mark.
Think.
I can't hear April that well.
Testing.
I can hear the test.
Testing.
Okay, I can hear you now. All right, yeah.
The
So
hills are alive with the sound of music.
they are now. What's up, sweetie?
Where's the exercise bottle out of the bathroom?
Right in front of the door. I was using it to prop it open
Oh,
while
okay.
I had while I was getting the mattresses out.
Okay, I was like really confused. I was like, where is it?
Yeah, it should be over that way.
Okay.
I replaced it with human hair.
I saw that. I thought I switched everything up, but I didn't have my glasses on, and so later on, I had my glasses, and I was in the bathroom, and I looked over, and I was like, right on top of the ball. There was a lock right here, and I was like, seriously?
Yeah, I thought the ball was like gashed open and circular, like it looked like it had been circularly ripped or something. I don't know what I'm trying
It
to
was
say.
your hair.
Yeah, it was my hair. Anyways, okay, your hairy DM is back with you. All right, everybody still with me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. Yes, but I didn't hear anything Brent had said. Rudolph Van Richten says, "Where's the rest of everyone?" There's dead silence. Is anyone talking? God dang it. Wonderful. Hold on. I'm gonna go and plug in my. I'm not gonna depend on Wi-Fi, so just gonna exit out of Discord. Exit out real quick. And get my hard line, and so just tell you. Test, test.
Hello.
Test, test.
Hey,
Hello?
Alright. I have plugged
testing,
in
testing.
a hard line here, so hopefully.
Can you hear Brent?
Yeah. You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
All right.
But can the recording hear him?
I don't know. Hopefully. Alright. Let me get Fantasy Grounds going again. Sorry, I've got this nice expensive Wi-Fi router. Apparently, it doesn't really work all that great.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
Always. Story of my life.
Well, it can only be as good as, everything else doing what it's supposed to do. That's usually how it goes.
Alright, I think everybody can connect.
So Fantasy Grounds is really delayed as well.
Yeah, I typed something in the chat window like 5 minutes ago and it hasn't come up yet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you need to
same here.
reconnect.
Just disconnect guys and hop back in.
Oh, yeah, okay. Makes sense. Because Mike had to close it.
Apparently it doesn't.
Could not connect to the host.
No.
Right. Are you using the Cowardly Cave Undead Zone?
No, Vast Cave Gold Roll.
Oh. Well, yeah, that then.
So did it change?
Apparently, yes.
No, it didn't change.
West. Yeah. Vast Cave Cold Roll.
It
Nope,
works.
can't connect.
Anybody?
Nope, can't connect.
Wonderful.
Yay.
Okay.
Pause the
What's the
recording.
new alias?
I don't know if I can pause it. Can I? Or is it gonna? No, I can't pause it. It would end up being 2 files. I don't want to create 2 files together and stitch them together and all
Yeah.
that shit. People can
So
just fast
new
forward.
alias.
No, I don't even have Fantasy Grounds running right now. Let me figure out what's going on. Run test. In progress. In progress. In progress. That's not a good sign. Failure. Oh boy.
Check your port IP or port address rather.
I probably just need to restart or something. I don't know.
I constantly have to change mine because my IP4 address constantly changes.
IP config/release. IP
Hit it with a
config/renew. All.
right.
Hmm. All right. All right, now try. All right, everybody's connecting now.
IP config to the rescue.
Except Brent. Brent lost. No, everyone lost. What? Waiting to reconnect. Maybe my internet's just being poopy.
Maybe. I'm still connecting.
Oh, man. Okay. This is, it's not fun.
Well, we are getting close to 11.
So?
All right. Yeah, it said everyone disconnected. You want to try one more time?
Yes.
Come on, Vast Cave Cold Roll.
At least Discord seems to want to work now. It didn't earlier.
Yeah, I guess we get one or the other.
I'm glad that this doesn't happen during the Bloodstone Community broadcast. That would be
Oh, yeah.
very bad.
Yeah, that went great.
Okay, well, just because Fantasy Grounds is not wanting to connect for anyone, doesn't mean that we can't continue a bit here on Discord. theater of the mind is often better anyway, right?
Yeah, I think we're just going to talk
Yep.
for now anyway, so we'll do that.
Okay, so picking it up from Van Richten asking, where is the rest of your friends?
Okay, so what I was going to do from the start anyway for this, and to save time anyway, is and just to make sure I don't drop anything or say anything wrong, I'm going to just assume I tell Van Richten everything I told Erwin at the inn, including about where Jack is, explain Alexandra's situation carefully, about the Spear of Longinus, and about purifying the site south of Lucky.
Jeeves is in deep shit.
Yeah. So, okay. One thing at a time. First, Alexander's dead. That's the big news.
Right, he's going to notice something's wrong, yeah.
Well, did you tell him like you told the people at the Blue Water Inn that she died? Like with the whole beast and all the purifying the place and all that? Let's not skip anything. Talk to the guy.
Okay, all right. I'll try to remember everything and not like piss him off. Let's see.
Well, when you say not pissing him off, what do you? Okay, you're trying to make it to where you have a hunch that he's going to be disappointed in Jeeves. That she's died again.
That, I mean, not only that, but I think he'll take it fairly hard and think we're incompetent. And I don't know.
Well, I mean, just to put it in perspective here, he performed a ritual that may be putting his soul in jeopardy because he murdered someone to bring someone else back to life. Yeah, that's not good. He doesn't seem like he was good with that from the beginning, but he thought that Alexandra was important enough to do so, and now she's dead again. So yeah, I don't see how you can really do that without pissing him off, or at least making him upset. Not really making him mad, but you know, it's upsetting news. No matter how
he's not gonna be okay with it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess we could have, I mean, out of character, I guess we could have tried to bring her back and then come after we found out we couldn't do anything for her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't have to tell him. You can lie to him and say that she's just not here. It's really all up to what you want to do.
Well, Elias isn't going to lie to him unless Jeeves wants to speak up.
There's a difference between lying and just not bringing something up. You know?
I mean, I'm standing in front of a guy that, you know, did all of this for her, and this means this much to him, then Elias...
And the reason you came here was...
Yes. That was the original plan anyway. Like, that's what me, Jack, and Jeeves decided to do way back.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. So...
Jeeves is much more familiar with this man, and it might be better for him to take the lead here.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so out of character, we decided not to tell him that she's dead. And what exactly do you want from him?
As far as Elias knows, that was not the plan. The plan was to tell him what happened and see if he could help us. Because as of the point where she had died and the encounter and everything, we didn't know anything about this lead where the kid and Crest came back to life. We didn't know anything about that. So as far as I know, the plan hadn't changed from what it was.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to take it,
right?
If you want to take it a different direction, you can. Elias is going to react however he will.
No, I think if we came here with that plan, then that's what we'll stick with. We'll see how it goes.
So Rudolph Van Richten says, "Mr. Jeeves, the look on your face is not good. What has happened?"
Indeed, it's not good. Our beloved Alexandra has fallen once again. She misstepped in a recent adventure and fell too far. I recovered her body, but we're trying to restore her once again.
You, of all people, must understand that what plans have been set into motion. I can't believe that you would let her fall again under your watch.
Believe me, if I could have caught her, I would have caught her.
He tried, certainly. Literally, to catch her. She was falling.
He just leaves the door open and walks inside.
I follow him inside.
All right. Elias, are you as well?
A minute after Jeeves does.
A full minute or just...
Several moments, maybe not a full minute.
Okay.
Dramatic pause.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We have good news, too, we can tell him, so keep that in mind.
That's true.
The room... the flagstone floor is strewn with debris. A few old crates stand near the east wall. A torn curtain to the south partially obscures the tower vestibule. A 5-foot square indentation in the center of the floor contains 4 pulleys attached to taut iron chains that stretch up through the similarly sized hole in the rotted wooden ceiling. Standing next to the chains are 4 tall clay statues. And Van Richten, he doesn't really look back, but he knows you're following him. He pushes the curtain to the side, and you enter this room with these 4 statues around this kind of square indentation in the floor. In that indentation, there's this... the taut chains look like they are part of this pulley system to bring that floor up. So it looks like some sort of elevator, and these statues are holding the chains. There doesn't look like there's any comfortable place to sit, but there are a few crates here in the room. Mostly a lot of debris. And it looks like this tower, although Van Richten occupies it, he hasn't cared to repair this area. It doesn't look like anyone lives here at this level, anyway. He's just standing with his back away from you, but he's stopped moving.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to him and place my hand on his shoulder and just apologize for what happened.
I know that you are sorry, Mr. Jeeves. I'm sorry if I seem upset, but you know that I've spent my life, the last bits of my life, years in this land beyond the mists, trapped, all for our plans to come to fruition.
Yeah, I understand.
I had greater hopes for her.
Well, I'm hoping that our hopes haven't died yet. I mean, we're not asking you yourself to restore her, but maybe you know of some other way that we could bring her back.
If I may interject, gentlemen, when I was talking to Erwin at the Blue Water Tavern, he told me of the Burgomaster's son over in Kresk apparently came back to life somehow or another. That may be our only lead, and things are looking up otherwise, sir. I managed to find the spearhead of Longinus, as you may be familiar with, as well as purify the site south of Kresk that was corrupted. It is now free of Strahd's influence.
I've been in this land many years. I have not traveled to Kresk. They're a very solitary village. There's not much information I can give you about them. But I have been adventuring around the land and gathering what information I can here throughout the years. Recently, out on one of my excursions, I apparently missed someone that may be very important to me. The wagon outside, I believe, belongs to an old protege of mine, a vampire hunter that I was training before I came to these lands. I don't know what happened to her. If you find her, please let me know.
A female vampire hunter, you say?
Yes.
What does she look like?
She's very beautiful. She looks like a Vistani.
I see.
And Jeeves, you think that you may remember this woman's name. You've heard Van Richten talk about Esmeralda before.
Okay. If I noted it, she's probably in fantasy grounds.
Wow.
No, there's no notes that you've seen so far in the campaign. I mean,
Oh,
in
okay.
your relation with him in the past as associates.
Okay.
He says, as far as Alexandra, I still know the spell from the scroll, but it would require me to take yet another life in payment. It's not something I wish to do again.
Nor I, sir. I would like to explore any other possible avenue, and I didn't feel completely comfortable the first time, but certainly we did not foresee this, and the circumstances were quite dire, and I think she just had a lapse in judgment, as many possibly would, being chased by a giant horned demon in a narrow hallway. So I don't know what we can do, but our only lead, as I said, is Kresk, and I do think that things may turn around for us otherwise, as we did just recently find the artifact and purify that area, and we have friends now working to help us, so we'll do our best.
Mr. Jeeves,
Yes.
the chances of success for our mission is greatly reduced with Alexander's absence. However, the good news is this place is a prison. None can escape it. Not you or I or Strahd or anyone else. So, if that's the way it must be, at least there's that. No evil will escape this place.
This is true.
Except Vistani, right?
Right.
Yes. And Vistani, aside from who I mentioned earlier, are not to be trusted.
Do you think your student would help us?
I do not know why she's here. Perhaps she is seeking me. I am surprised that she didn't wait longer here, if she thought that I may have been here, but perhaps she could not enter the front door while I was out.
Maybe we can track her down for you.
I am worried. Her wagon has been here for days and she hasn't returned.
Quite curious. The land is quite common with missing women.
Yes, this is a horrible place. I've lived here far too long. Mr. Jeeves, Alexandra has been in your care for years now. Do you believe that it is worth bringing her back from the dead? Do you think that she's the Belmont worthy enough to complete this mission?
Without doubt.
Then if you bring me someone that you believe is worth sacrificing in her stead, I will do this for you.
Yeah, I'm not in agreement.
Well, my friends, you may rest here if you need to.
What of her body? How much longer can we keep her, and the spell even be possible?
That I do not know.
I would hate to rest long enough to the point where we can't have any chance of helping her, magical or otherwise.
Yeah, whatever we do will have to be fairly swift, I imagine.
Well, you know, out of character, Jack is waiting at least 8 hours. You guys have
Yeah.
only spent, maybe a good, I guess about an hour, really. It didn't take you long to get here, and mostly it was just the time spent getting the horse tacked up and ready to go.
How long has it been since Alex died?
Well, it's been the same day, hasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because we came straight to Vilaf.
So a matter of hours.
Yeah.
So it might be like late afternoon at this point, probably.
She might start to smell a little funny right now, maybe.
Well, she smells funny anyway.
Well, we haven't taken like a bath since we've been here, so as far as I know.
Sure you have. Staying at the Blue Water Inn, there's plenty of time to do that kind of thing.
All right.
At Ismark's too, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm okay with. Well, if Jack is going to rest we don't know that Jack is resting for sure, but we know out of character that he is. If we knew in character he was, then everyone would feel more comfortable with resting. But what do you say, Jeeves? Shall we retire here for a moment? Do you think Alex would be okay in that span of time?
I don't think I think I'd rather not wait.
Well,
But I mean, you can rest here. I can go find. Well, I won't say a willing person, but I could find a person.
what would you know?
He's a slimy thief. He has his ways. Don't question him.
And I know a fat kid in town. And
The old Plan C, huh?
Yes.
Uh,
no, there'll be no kids.
This place has enough children anyway. They're always getting lost and stuff, so...
that's true. No, I don't think Victavia would appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't really see him the kind of guy that would sacrifice a child.
So Elias will pull Jeeves aside and ask him, so do you suppose you want to stick with the sacrifice plan, or do you want to explore the avenue of what happened in Kresk? It sounded like that was some kind of lead.
Out of character, I'm sure that Erwin could find a condemned criminal worthy of being sacrificed.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But the Burgomaster's son's resurrection.
Well, I'm surprised that Rictavio or Van Richten knows the spell to the point where he could just do it again. That's that almost sounds like he could just do it a third and fourth time, you know.
You do recall that Alexandra wasn't exactly quite feeling herself the last time she came back from the dead. It's quite a traumatic experience, and the material component for this is someone's soul. Yeah. So it's it's a powerful spell, but come on, it's got some drawbacks to it.
Okay, I'm hoping so. I mean, I don't want this to be like, okay, every few months we do this, and like Alex gets slightly crazier every time or something.
Just because she's the only person that's needed this so far doesn't mean that it's always going to be her.
Well, she's super special to Rictavio. I don't know if he'd bother with the rest of us. Sorry, lots. Louts.
Not sure.
I mean, I don't know. Like, we don't have any information on what these super secret plans are between Jeeves and Rictavio, which Elias is very curious over, but he hasn't said anything.
Sleep with one eye open, Elias.
That sounds both difficult and uncomfortable.
Well, he has bad dreams anyway, so it's not too unusual, I guess. Okay. So one thing sounds like a very slight, lead where we have no information and a very slight chance of success, and the other avenue is the arguably easier thing that is questionably moral and will bring her back with more crazy. So, Elias is very tired. He decides to lay down.
One moment.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
not
you're talking
not
to me.
you.
Okay. All right, we're gonna take a short rest for.
All right, I can apply a short rest to everyone then.
I'll take a long rest.
Long rest? Okay.
All right, long rest it is.
Are you going to try to decipher some of the tome?
I'll decipher some of the tomb.
Of course. Never gonna live it down.
Nope.
Never.
All right, so
It was a
let's-
grave mistake. You have to
Oh,
admit.
God.
Wow.
You are the best.
Wow, dude. You put Brainiac to shame with that
I
one.
agree. I've always thought so, though. Rest, long rest. All right, let me go and dig through the Tome of Strahd and
My
see.
God,
where-
he said it right.
Naturally, too. You see that?
I know.
No, it was conscious.
He had to think a little bit ahead before he started it.
Yes. There we go. Let's make sure I can get the right one to read this time. I'll paste it into Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy Grounds is still recording just fine. You guys just aren't in it. Yes. This is the one. All right, you begin to read the tome and, pen in hand, start deciphering his shorthand and his code here. Long enough in 8 hours to get this bit. My studies have taught me much about my curse. I am called Vampire, though I am more powerful than any other of the sort. When I had first conquered this land, there were 3 ancient places of power that I had learned of with my dark magic. In life, before my curse, I had bound these places to me with elder rituals. The mountains, the swamp, and the woods all gave me their power. This is the power I use to call death and make the pact that would seal my fate and allow me to walk forever in neither life or death, but something in between. The nymphs that guarded each place all fell under my will. When I became cursed, their bodies twisted, as did their minds. They have become insane witches. They will still listen to my commands, but I can see a spark of hatred in them for how my curse has changed not only the land, but has corrupted their very beings. They would see me destroyed, but I believe such may be impossible. They cannot release the land's power from me on their own, and each secret place gives me vitality, supernatural speed, and incredible willpower. A stake in my heart only denies me movement, and with the power of the land, I believe that even direct sunlight will not fully destroy me. In my attempts to test my immortality, I have found that my form can retreat deep beneath the castle, to rest among the crypt I had prepared for myself in life, not far from that of my mother and father. I shall seal shut the walls of the stairs so that none may disturb me.
Interesting.
That's some good info.
So Elias, when he reads that, knows exactly what it's referring to. He doesn't have to wonder about the situation. He knows that he needs to seek out the mountains and the forests and find out how to purify those sites to do the same thing he did in the swamp.
Yep.
And he knows that the nymphs are the 3 witches that we're familiar with, one of which that we worked for to purify the Swamps.
Naga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a Facebook notification of me updating the home of Strahd. All right. So everyone is well rested now, a little wiser, and what would you like to do now? It's been a good 8 hours. Jack, what are you doing?
I'm talking. Einen.
What?
Thank you. I missed that.
I think he had to get on one of those kids.
With
No, I think I
You're
heard
cutting
I'm
out.
talking with Mordekainen about.
Yeah, you're cutting out every other word, Logan.
No words.
All right. Well, I'm going to say that the Ravens have had time to actually find Jack by now. And that's where he'll meet his first Keeper of the Feather that's not one of the Martikov families. Although this face is familiar, I'm assuming that Logan can hear me. I hope so. That,
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, you came in fine that time. Actually, he doesn't know that you're in that mansion. Yeah, let's just go ahead with whatever you're going to say. The birds may have found the mansion, but finding you within it is a completely other feat to accomplish.
Actually, Jack probably would have put a one of his feathers on the doorframe.
Okay. A little retroactive continuity, that's fine with me. Sure, okay. Well,
What did you say
you'll-
Jack was doing? Because we didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
He was talking to Mordekainen. Basically, he's still trying to talk about Strahd and how useful he could be to the fight. He knows that he's completely... that he thinks he needs to hide, but at the same time, things are coming together. Not right now, but in the near future. Every hand on deck is going to be helpful, because we've found the Lance of Longinus, and we've done this and that, and Strahd needs to die, and oh my god, you're so powerful.
He says, well, son, I'm glad that you think that I'm so important, but I can't quite remember my past even. I don't even think that I can whip up any more spells than what's available to me at the moment. If it is as you said, I don't believe Strahd is something I could face.
Not on your own, not as you are, but I do know someone who is much more versed in these matters in these lands than I.
Who would this be?
Well, there's Rudolfo van Richten, an experienced monster hunter.
The name doesn't ring a bell, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't imagine it would. He's opposed Strahd for decades. You won't find more knowledgeable in this land. But he has been all over it, so I'm thinking he might have found a way to help you. That being said, there's also the were-ravens themselves.
I am mostly a man of solitude until I regain my wits about me. I don't believe I even wish to meet your Rudolph the Red Van Richten.
Well, I'm glad you remember that bit of lore. That being said, you don't know how long you've been out here. You could have been here for decades without regaining your wits.
I don't think so, unless my memory is slipping past. I'm skipping time, but I'm afraid I just can't trust myself out in the world just yet. It would be too easily for me to be defeated at this state. I don't have full control over my mental faculties. And you're sure that he doesn't. Just in regular conversations with him, you see that he's really struggling to even be coherent when he talks to you. Something is magically definitely wrong with him.
This is clearly some kind of extraordinarily powerful curse. Someone needs to break it. I imagine you could do it yourself in a heartbeat, were you at full strength.
Yes, well, I'm not.
I appreciate everything you've done for me. I'm just trying to let me help you. Let me help you. Yes, that one.
You see a raven perched on one of his windows on the mansion. The window's closed, but the raven looks like it's interested in what's going on inside.
Wave at
it. It waves a wing at you.
I'm
Shoot a
interested in
finger
this.
gun. Like, I'll be with you in a moment.
It knows not what a finger gun may be.
Point at it and wink.
All right, it got you. It poops.
Where are you normally? Morgan?
Poops and flies away.
Normally, I like to move around, so I'm not so easily detected. I've just created this place in hopes that I can shelter you and your friend who seem to be in trouble.
Yes, sir, and I am very grateful. I'm worried that if I let you go, I'll never be able to find you to help you again.
Well, I am less interested in you and more making sure that this little girl is safe. If it was just you, I don't know if I would have revealed myself.
I appreciate that. Honestly, she'd probably be safer with you. But
Yes, that's smart. Leave the 7-year-old child in the custody of a crazy weredeer.
She would probably like my dog if I could find the damn thing.
try casting a spell.
The
Thinking
magic
about
that
said dog.
The magic that I have is very limited. What I hold within my mind, if I expel it, I will not be able to get it back.
I see. You can't re-up your spells. Sounds almost like a permanent feeble mind. Why are you so afraid of Strahd in the first place?
I have flashes of memories of confronting a powerful wizard.
Describe Strahd to him.
Yes, that is definitely part of my past. I believe I was thrown from a cliff. I don't remember how I survived.
Well, I'm given to understand that you're very powerful. But if Strahd decided that he couldn't best you in open combat, he has many magics under his disposal. One of them might be one to break your mind.
Well, regardless, I was bested.
But not killed. And as far as I know, you're the only one to face him and live. You are the only hope for the children of Barovia.
I'm afraid you place too much faith in me.
I'm afraid you don't place nearly enough faith in yourself. You are broken. You can be fixed. The fact that you lived alone is amazing in and of itself, let alone your accomplishments if you are who I think you are, and I think you could be no one else.
He just starts kind of staring off into the distance, like he's trying really hard to remember something, but then you can kind of see he loses it, and he goes, I'm sorry, what?
So close. Have you ever heard of Saint Markovia?
I'm afraid not.
It's an abbey, one of the last best consecrated grounds in this land.
I know nothing of it.
There may be someone there to help you.
It is too dangerous. I have survived this long by being cautious. I will continue to do so until I can work this out.
You haven't worked it out yet, and it's been decades.
I don't know how you believe that is true.
All right, I failed that intelligence saving throw. You haven't worked it out yet, and it's been an indeterminate amount of time. It could be an indeterminate amount of time, and you die. Alone, and as a deer. And for someone of your stature, that sounds terrible.
Living the life of a deer it's not so bad.
No, it's not so bad. It's subsisting. It's getting by. It's not living. It's hiding. Giving up.
Well, I do have a few tricks left under my sleeve, should any hunters or wolves decide to attack.
Yes, I know. But how long until they run out? Any finite resource is exactly that, finite.
If I remember you 10 minutes from now, perhaps it's possible, if you find some way to cure me, that you can come back and look for me. If I see you and recognize you, I might reveal myself.
Can I give you something?
Absolutely.
When you change into a deer, do you keep the things on your person?
Of course.
Of course. Well, good. You've got one up on me. Lean out, grab the feather, and hand it to him.
Ah. What's this for? Material component.
Yes and no. This is one of my feathers, specifically. I'm a were-raven, as of like yesterday, but still. Someone once gave me a feather like this and told me to give this to someone if they're ever in trouble. You're in trouble.
And to who do I give this, if I need to?
Anyone with the last name Mardikoff, number one. Number two, I'm hoping you just keep it and think of me. Remember me. Failing that, I might be able to find it later, given that it's got my own magical resonance.
I understand. It's quite clever.
You're a great man, and it's... If you are who I think you are, and again, I think you could be no one else. It hurts me deeply to see you like this. The land needs a hero, and unfortunately, so does its hero, apparently.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry that I can't assist more.
You've done plenty. I hope to assist you.
Well, if I'm as amazing as you say, then I've probably been through worse.
I don't doubt it.
Erebus says, I've got to go to the bathroom.
All right, Arabelle, the potty's this way. I'm going to step outside and talk to my friend here.
All right. when the Raven transforms into his human form, he's completely naked. But you recognize his face. He's someone that you've seen at the Blue Water Inn before when you very first came in to Vallaki. He was a visitor.
One of the hunters?
No, this was the man that was keeping to himself.
Wave. Oh, I knew I'd see you again. The important ones always sit in the corner, looking mysterious.
Yes, well, it's good to find another keeper of the feather. Your friends are looking for you.
Well, I'm looking for my friends, but as it happened, I found something rather interesting. Are you the only one here?
Yes.
How quickly can you get more? Say, 3 ravens.
Wouldn't take but an hour.
An hour, okay. There is a very powerful person in here that needs an eye kept on him. He's broken, but he can be an asset against Strahd, if only he's helped. His mind is gone, but it can be found again, I think. He's given to lose himself, and I don't know that I could find him again if I need him. But if we put 3 ravens on him in shifts, 3 ravens at a time, each one shifting in and out in a shift, I think he could be very useful. And I think he deserves it.
Keeping an eye on things is what we do best. This is something that we can do for you.
I thank you.
Yes.
What is your name?
I am Bartov.
Bartov?
Yes, that's your service.
Okay, so need to keep him busy for an hour while you go and get the other 3, if you would be so kind.
Okay, but first, before I leave, your friends said that they were going to Van Richten's and then Kresk.
Excellent. I will meet them along the way.
Alright, I will go and begin to watch this man. I will come back with a few of our kind.
He'll turn into a deer at some point. You need to keep an eye on him even then. Don't make contact if it can be avoided, but keep an eye.
We understand. And with that, poof, he transforms into a raven and begins flying back in the direction of Vallaki to the south. Arabelle looks like she's finished with her business and comes outside to find out where you are. Jack? Logan? Is anyone hearing me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I thought I cut out there again.
I'm here.
Now, Logan says
Try and
he's
keep Mordenkainen busy for an hour while the ravens get there, then take Arabelle and find my friends.
Okay. Well, eventually the ravens return, and at that point, you head on to the tower. So, you see an odd-looking door, a wagon, and unless you want to look around more, you can knock or
Knock and then go on in if the door's on.
the door is not unlocked. Did you want to try to open it?
You see how dark that
I think the door is still open if we didn't close it.
Well, I guess it's up to you,
It's
Brent.
been
Did you
8
close it
hours.
behind you?
I think it's closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely closed. Actually, it closes by itself after a certain amount of time. So, are you knocking or are you just trying to open it?
Knocking.
All right. There's other other ways into this old tower as well, since you can fly. But when you knock on the on the door, eventually Rudolph Van Richten comes and welcomes you in. You've been through enough together to where at this point you are, you've brought back the dead together.
We sacrificed an old woman together. Good times.
Mm-hmm. And learned that the thunderous spell can still be uttered with someone's hand over your mouth.
Thaumaturgy, right?
Yes. Yeah. And she used her voice magically to speak real loud. Alright, so they all catch you up on what the plan here is. Eventually, they get out the whole story that this wagon is someone that Rudolph Van Richten believes this wagon belongs to a protege of his that may be looking for him. She apparently left it here, but she hasn't come back to this wagon for days now. He was away while she apparently had visited. It looks like there's a pulley system. There's more to this tower up top, but everyone has just kind of rested down here in the lower area. Brent, I'm sure that you told him about the entry in the Tomb of Strahd. Damn it, I did it again.
Tom.
And you also tell him about how the other Keepers of the Feathers had spied something odd. The rumors of the Burgomaster's son, the last of his lineage, had died. But then they saw him alive and well. So apparently that curiosity has Brent's interest peaked a little bit. However, Jeeves is completely fine with finding someone to sacrifice and get Alexandra back that way.
I like how Elias has become Brent at this point too. That's pretty
I'm sorry.
Cool.
I don't have your like name on the screen, and
you have
tired.
no right to be teasing him over the whole issue with Claire in the beginning, okay?
Huh?
Alexander's middle name that I had to drop because people kept calling her by it.
Oh, we all did that. Yeah, I remember that.
At any rate, at this point, Jack will suggest, why don't we find someone bad? Maybe pay the Burgomaster in Vallaki a visit. No, he hasn't done anything to deserve it.
Sure he has.
Well, actually, he did burn a woman.
She was a witch.
Maybe.
She was definitely a witch.
Oh, well then.
Well, I mean, the evidence supported that this book had the book club members of the other person that you sacrificed.
Doesn't make him any less of a dick.
Alexandra's whispering ghost is right. It doesn't make him any less of a dick.
That's true.
Point is, that one's assured, but we're not sure if Alexandra's going to come back just as crazy as when she left, just as crazy as when she came back, or even crazier.
Wouldn't you like to know?
To the credit of the Burgomaster of Vallaki, I will say that he has finally taken down all of those notices about the festivals. I couldn't find one as I was in the town recently, so he seems to have taken your advice to heart.
Good. Well, in that case, let me ask you a question, Jeeves. Is, this isn't the question, this is to everyone at large. Is Van Richten, like, in the room right now?
Do you want him to be?
Sure.
Sure, okay, then yeah, he's there.
Turn to Jeeves. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel strongly enough about this to volunteer yourself for Alexandra to return?
Oh, I see where this is going. Ugh.
Quiet, Crusader.
I'm not a crusader.
Oh, all the infighting.
Well, Jeeves, the schemer asked you a question.
The difference is I don't consider that an insult. That's just honest truth.
Mark, you're with us, right?
Mark.
Limey,
Mark. Sorry.
Jeeves.
No, I'm here. I'm doing multiple things. Where we at?
Logan?
Hello.
Do you feel strongly enough about this to sacrifice yourself to bring her back?
Yes.
Why smirks at Jack.
As a side note, Alex does not approve of that plan.
That's a good job she's not here.
Did we lose Mike?
No, I'm just wondering what
Check.
Logan was going to do when he got his answer.
I didn't hear Mark respond.
He said yes.
Look at Van Richten. Is that what you think is best? Because you have a volunteer right here.
No. Mr. Jeeves has been a friend of mine for far too long for me to sacrifice him.
And we're
A
not
friend who
sacrificing.
failed in his duties twice.
Have you never failed in anything of your duties? in your life?
Absolutely, and I pay for it every day. Could I fix it by giving my life? I would in a heartbeat. I nearly did.
And we're not sacrificing you either, Jack.
No, at this point I've become much too, I've become simultaneously more and less noble. That being said, the Mardikovs could likely bring a condemned man here within a few hours. Or we could try another approach. I'm open to it. I'm just saying these are your options realistically. There is no excuse that, well, there's no one available. Well, we can't find someone worthy. We can find someone, quote unquote, worthy in a minute. It really just comes down to, is that what we want to do?
Recall the side effects of the procedure as well. We have a lead otherwise, but we don't know the details of it or even the possibility of it. We're also not sure how much longer her body will be able to accept this transfer.
Right.
I was hoping we could maybe get her back in the game tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay. Well, though I don't personally like it, if we acquired this criminal, as you say, this condemned person, given the circumstances, I suppose we'll just have to do it that way, because I don't know how we could work out within the day this possibility in Kresk, not knowing anything of the landscape or the situation in the town.
Just out of character, you really think that you're going to push off of the heavy decision of whose life you're going to take to the DM with the Mardikovs? Of just saying, yeah, here's some random convicted guy? Not going to happen. Just not going to happen.
Damn it!
Yeah, I'm not going to make that decision for you. Sorry.
That did seem a little too easy.
Burgomaster.
He's reformed some though. He's
Reforming.
reforming. The town kind of
He
needs.
only burned one witch.
Yeah.
He had a whole list.
Like if he's taken care, if he's removed, then the remains of the Watchers will probably take over.
Well, his son is also, kind of heir to the town.
There's also the Watcher girl that we left in charge. She
Mhm.
can possibly do something. Well, Elias isn't going to go out and find somebody to sacrifice. He might allow it, but he's not going to like actively find somebody to do it too. That's on you guys.
Well, that's up to Mr. Jeeves. What's your opinion?
Well, I mean, I'm really good either way. Because she's more important to the cause than Jeeves is.
Yeah, well,
This is
Van Richten said that's not an option to take you.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So yes, I guess the random inmate will need to be. We'll need to find out an inmate.
Did you hear what Mike said about that? Like he would not like let us really just DM.
I'm not going to invent someone easy. It's going to have to be someone that you've encountered.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure there's other places you can look for people that
Bring
are
the fat
see you.
kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can probably find
Yeah.
him.
You have to knock Elias out first before we do that.
It's also going to have to be someone that Octavio is good with, or Rudolph Van Richten is good
And he
with sacrificing.
And he seemed to not be fond of the kid idea last time.
Yeah, I think it was mentioned.
He doesn't like Vistani.
Jack does though.
Yeah, good point.
He's got a little girl, Miss Donnie.
Yeah, that's true.
Please don't do that.
There's probably no way that you could. Well, I don't know. She is Vistani. Probably not a child. Earlier, he said that, other Vistani can't be trusted, but you don't think that he's going to take it to the extreme of killing children.
You could try to find the asshole who tried to sell them fake potions from the original camp.
Yeah, that's a good candidate. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to resolve this tonight.
Probably not.
Unfortunately. April, it's like the whole plot revolves around resurrecting you right now, but yet you don't get any playtime. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Look forward to it all week just to sit there and listen.
Yeah.
Well, the Tower of Dolls episode was really cool, though. That's one of the nicest
Actually,
things.
it was.
Yeah.
I certainly enjoyed it.
I had fun just listening to that.
All right, then. If it's to be between us, Jeeves, let's go back to Vallaki, and let's find someone who's been condemned for crimes. Actually, better yet, let's go with the original plan. The innkeeper.
The innkeeper was, he's, the last time you saw him, he was walking away to get drunk somewhere.
Let's go find him.
Okay.
Does Elias hear that?
Sure.
Elias says, well, you guys probably weren't there, but Elias had given him some gold and promised him safety.
And I'm all for it if he's actually changed his life. If, however, he's used that gold to buy himself drinks, to drink himself stupid, so that he doesn't have to deal with the consequences of his actions, I'd say it's time consequences paid him a visit.
Yeah, and I told him to help Blinsky as well get back on his feet, and because he was had experience running a business, and they both had their buildings burned down. So.
Good. Let's go see if he's kept his promise. If not, I think that's for you to do from yours.
This is Barovia, Crusader. You can't always keep your hands clean.
Who's talking to me?
Actually, yes. Alexandra's voice says that right behind him.
Okay.
A minor illusion.
That works.
I know better than to listen to Alexander's advice.
Oh boy. Alright, let's expedite this process if this was gonna go down. Unless you have any other ideas.
Nope, that's my best idea right now, and I think it's the one we need to follow. Normally this would be gather information rolls. Or search rolls.
Can no one
But given
still
the
connect?
fantasy... Say what?
Can still no one connect Fantasy Grounds?
Oh,
I've been trying this whole time. Still nothing.
Okay. Alright. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Alright, well... no need for rolls. I don't understand exactly what we're...
I think we
going
could
for.
find I think we could find our way, just a matter of time. In which case, what's he doing when we find him?
Oh, okay, so is everyone good with skipping time and finding this innkeeper?
I'm good with at least exploring the option.
So Elias is going to stay behind with Van Richten and the wagon and Alexander's body and all that.
Split the party, huh? Okay. To Vallaki you go. Jack and Jeeves, you find yourselves back in Vallaki not but an hour or so later. And I'm going to say wisdom rolls. Let's see. Jack will probably be better at this. Let's see. DC of 15 for investigation. So be with advantage since you've got help. Let's see, investigation. Alright, looking for this guy. A 16. Okay, yes. So, in a couple of hours, after asking around and talking to Blinsky, you discover that the man is still drinking, but it looks like he and Blinsky have kind of a little side business going on to where they're using the wax from the wolves that are caught often to create candles and soap. So the town had quite a shortage of soap before, and with their little business, they're not doing too bad. Of course, Blinsky still, his passion lies within his toys, but together they have cobbled together a nice little side business of soap and candles.
Nice.
Not really. Because now you're going to feel guilty.
God damn it. Good to see you're in business. Let's go to the jail. Talking to Jeeves.
You guys are familiar with Vallaki enough to know that there really is no prison in Vallaki. You know that there's a spot where the burgomaster will lock people up in a closet that are suspicious characters that need to be watched or are ready for execution. Other than that, the town seems to meddle out their justice quite quickly at the stocks, or sometimes the noose. And where the stocks originally were filled with people who were not celebrating enough, they seem to be free of people at the moment. You've made quite an impression on this town.
Damn.
But you do see that fat kid.
Oh, don't tempt me. Can we draw a mustache on him and try and pass
Walk
him
up
some
and
hope?
kick him.
Do you want to assault a child? Seriously?
Yes. Jack walks up like he's going to tell him hi, and then he kicks him in the
Well, let's keep in mind that Mr. Jeeves and Alexandra had already encountered this child once before. On their own.
I'm just gonna glare at the kid, see what happens.
Alright, well, you think that Jack's about to run off and go kick this kid. So, do you want to try to stop him?
Yeah, I'll grab Jack.
Okay. Alright.
No! I am frustrated! That little fat fuck is going down!
Alright, well, Jack, you can resist and go kick this kid if you really want to. I'm rolling a wisdom result.
Yes, that is exactly what I do.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's exactly what he'd do, so...
Hopefully you've rolled better strength than I do.
His wisdom is 0. So it's a straight d20. And I rolled a natural 1. Okay,
Yay.
so... Jack,
Wow.
Jack runs off, sees this kid. What do you say before you land a boot square in his ass?
I have deep-seated emotional problems!
Okay. Well, you've kicked this
Oh,
kid square,
but Alex is the crazy one. Okay.
square in the ass as you say this odd thing. The kid falls over and begins crying. Everyone begins to look at you. Now, what are you gonna do?
Lean down, and as I'm helping him up, minor illusion on my face, something scary and vile as I say, be good. Then let him go.
Okay, yes, the kid begins screaming and wailing and running away. The guards have taken notice and are walking over to you. Is your face still changed?
Nope, as soon as I was out of his face, my face was back to normal.
Okay, one of the guards, this is the one that you're familiar with that had helped you out previously with the burgomaster in front of the mansion before to go and search for people. So, he kind of knows you and he says, "What? Why did you kick this kid?"
He hucked rocks off my friend's head and made him bleed. Did other vile things that children should be punished for.
And the other guard laughs, and he says, "Yeah, this guy right here, he was in the stocks. I saw that kid throw a rock at him."
Yep. That was me.
My friend told me all about how that made him feel terrible, made him cry deep into the night. He's old, look at him. Breathing could break a hip.
Look,
But
kids
I'm
will be kids. You can't go around kicking them.
I could have kicked him much harder. Clearly his parents should be the one kicking him.
Yes, well, let's leave that to the parents. If you cause any more trouble, we're going to have a problem.
Okay, fine. While I've got you here, do you know any murderers or rapists who are currently up for execution?
The only murderers and rapists here were captain of the guard, and he's been taken care of.
I know! We did it!
Yes, this is why you can kick kids and get away with it.
Good point.
Now, you must behave yourselves. This town looks to you as heroes. They cannot see you kicking our villagers.
Oh, just the one. He was small.
And the other guard laughs and says, "Ha, that's the first time I've heard that kid get called small."
Wow.
Relatively speaking.
So yeah, they produce no obviously DM hooks into sacrifices.
Were there no other witches on that list?
There are plenty of other witches on that list.
Could we have the list?
The
Let's
Burgermaster
go talk
has...
to the Burgermaster.
All right, fast forward to the Burgermaster. Jack, so great to see you again.
I love how
Oh.
I can magically hear Alex's voice.
You,
Yeah.
oh, you want one of the witches, huh? Well, I would be more than happy to give you one. As long as you don't mind another festival of me burning another witch. 2 birds, 1 stone. We're both happy.
We don't have the time for that, but I'll give you something better to burn next time, okay?
The burning of the festival of the sun and burning the witch with the wicker sun went off very well. It brought a sense of control over the village.
The Burgermaster has gone batshit, gentlemen. Time
You
to burn
burned her
him.
son.
What?
Never mind. Yes, another of the witches, preferably one that's been vetted.
So then you don't mind if I burn another one then, if you're going to take one.
God damn his logic. I mind a little if you burn another, but... Jeeves!
What do you do?
A life.
He wants to know what you're doing with the witch.
A life for a life, Jack. It's only fair.
I am taking the witch out to be purified. Her soul may be extinguished by the ritual, but a new, cleaner soul should emerge.
Ha!
Okay.
Cleaner.
Soul cleansing by the ritual. I think he understands the ritual that you're referring to now. And he knows that it means you're going to kill her, so he only thinks that it's fair that he gets to kill one too.
You saw what happened last time you brought me back, Jack. Are you willing to go through it again? Truly.
Shut up, Ghost of Alexandra! Jack is actually starting to come apart at the seams at just this moment.
Do you think I can contain the darkness a second time, Jack?
You should contain it the first time.
Look at Jeeves. Thoughts?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
Bring me back, boys.
I do
Because-
hope this is fun for you, April.
The Ghost of Alexandra has a point.
Actually, I've just been sitting here talking in ghost form, so no. I'm waiting.
And
But I am
the
having fun toying
Burgermaster-
with them.
Burgermaster is waiting on your decision.
Fine.
Not a burning next time, but a recalcitration. Recant.
Do I need to Google this, or can you just speak English?
What does it matter how they die? The fact of the matter is they'll be dead. Just like I am, Jack.
I don't know at this point if you're the ghost of Alexandra Raw speaking through me or my own guilty conscience.
Why does it have to be a choice? Why can't it be both?
All three. There were 3 options.
Are you sure? Or are the voices giving too much for you, Jack?
Don't know if clever conscience or angry troll god. He is saying all this out loud.
Mike, are you allowing this as a thing, or what's going on here?
Well, part of me wants to hurry up and get this over with so I can go to bed, but the other part of me feels bad that April hasn't had any involvement in this game, so I don't really want to stop her.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's take a witch.
Fine.
The Burgermaster looks very pleased with your decision to help him out with his witch problem. Slowly but surely, he's going down the list.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Drag a witch up by the toe.
All right. He gives you the name of this actually quite noble woman. Had one of the larger houses in Vallaki. Her name is Vivian, and she will be yours for the taking. The guards are informed of your ability now to arrest this woman and take her in exile of Vallaki, and her accomplice is also listed and will be the next witch burned at the next festival, which should be soon. All right, so fast forwarding.
Right now.
Let's get back to Van Richten's tower, unless anyone has anything else to say between here and there.
Nope.
The woman is bound and unconscious when she's brought in.
I guess an unconscious being is still a worthy sacrifice. Sure.
Oh, no. And while they were gone, Elias was showing Van Richten and discussing with him the Tome of Strahd and what was in it.
Oh, okay. Did you want to read more?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yeah, sure. You had a couple of hours there. I would say enough for even a short rest if you wanted, but you haven't really done anything.
Didn't need that.
All right. Well, I closed that, but let me open it back up. Sure. We have
You could just give it to us next time. It'll be fine.
Nah, it's cool enough to do now. Plus, you were out of the spotlight for so long. I feel bad. All right. All right, I'll give you the shorter entry here. I have learned much in the ways of alchemy since I have embraced the night. I have completed forming an extremely rare and powerful stone. In one of the towers of Ravenloft, it hovers in the form of a giant heart. I did not expect that when I placed it there, it would affect the castle the way it has. It seems to slowly be turning the castle walls into some living construct. As its power grows, so does my own. It protects me, and no harm can come to me while it still beats.
Jeez. So he has the power of the land giving him like protective, almost immortality, and he has this stone he put in the castle.
Sounds like
Wow. You're gonna put those in the Facebook group later too, right?
They are all.
He already put one.
Okay. Cool.
That sound was number 2.
Hey.
Okay, Elias, you see them bring in a sacrifice. It is not the innkeeper that you were worried about.
Elias thinks to himself, that is a very noble-looking, well-to-do woman. I hope they're making the right decision.
Yeah, well, she's unconscious. Apparently,
Jack would say he's not. She probably smells very heavily of wine.
you can't really force her to drink enough wine to go unconscious. How did you bring her to that point?
Boot to the head.
That'll work.
Most likely, honestly.
Okay. Well, when someone gets KO'd, it doesn't normally last for all that much. They either bleed out or wake up. So if she stabilizes, she's going to regain consciousness. If you're going to do this, you're going to do it quickly.
Let's get this done. I'd rather she not suffer any more than she has to.
Rudolph Van Richten wants to know why you've chosen her. You know, it's his. He's the one that has to perform this act.
She's a witch. Believe me, if I could do this for you, I would, Van Richten.
He says, well, unfortunately, it seems this duty falls on me. Very well, then. Let us begin. All right. Alexandra, do you know how to roll a percentile? You go to the D10 and...
I do.
Oh, shit, you're not in Fantasy
I have
Grounds?
Fantasy Grounds on my own running. I can run it. I can
No,
roll a
that's fine. In Discord, let's see if Grimoria is awake. She looks like she might be online. Are you there? Yes, she is. All right, so we do a dot roll 1d100. Yes, so that will work. Do you see how I did that?
Cool.
Do dot roll and then space 1d100, all without a space. Well, I mean,
Wow. Okay.
in between roll and 1d100, there is a space. 99. Oh my god. Okay. Hold on. I gotta look that one up. That one's gonna be rare. Hold on. I can't hear right now. I've got my headphones out.
I assume that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I sure hope so. I sure hope it's a fun thing and not something fucking stupid. I've heard horror stories about this madness chart from other players, from other campaigns.
Okay, I can hear again. Got my DM guide here in
Okay.
front of me. And I can't remember what page that was on.
She is 99% insane. Hey.
Wow. No, I don't think that's what it means. I hope not. Mike, is it the indefinite madness chart?
Maybe.
Because I think I have that somewhere saved on my hard drive. I can try to pull it up.
No, don't do that. That is metagaming. I don't want you to know what's in that chart. That's a DM chart, not a player chart.
Fine, I'll leave it alone.
Thank you. It's on page 258.
Had it saved ages ago from Wolf's campaign that I ran with him.
Was it a 5th edition game?
No, it was 3.5. He doesn't like 5th.
Totally different chart.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a private message.
Man, the curiosity's killing me now.
There you go.
Oh, this is fantastic.
All right. Everyone sees Alexandra. Her eyes open wide, and she begins to scream. Her scream echoes throughout the rest of the tower, and it looks like she has breathed life back into her body. Her face looks horrified.
So it's
Is
very
there
similar to
anything
how it was before.
fire?
So this looks familiar.
Yeah.
Who's standing closest to her?
Probably me.
Oh, goody.
Well, after Van Richten, I'm sure.
Her eyes lock on Jeeves as the first person she sees, and she sits bolt upright and wraps both of her hands around his throat.
Okay. I will roll for an attack roll. You did terrible. Mr. Jeeves, she's attempting to wrap her hands around your throat, but you easily evade.
And the dexterity.
Actually, since we can do that in Fantasy Grounds, just roll a d20, April. I'm sorry, I forgot we had the ability on the dice right there. Don't leave it up to my shitty rolls. Roll 1d20.
I got a 15.
Hmm?
I got a 15. I don't know what my modifier is, though, because I don't have my character sheet up.
Oh, I'm still in our... No, roll in the Ravenloft chat.
Oh, in the Discord, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Fantasy Grounds.
No, don't worry about Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, you said fancy grounds.
You did say fantasy grounds, though. I'm saying.
Oh, I'm just silly. It's based off of your strength, so you don't get a plus. But this does support a plus.
You got a natural 20.
Yeah, no problem. Your hands are strangling Mr. Jeeves at the moment. Strangulation is exactly how it worked with you and Ezek. Mr. Jeeves, you're going to have to try to break that grapple. So I'm going to need you to roll a d20, and you get to add...
Yeah.
Well, it's an automatic success. You're grappled at this point. You're going to spend a round without oxygen. But the next
That's okay.
round, you'll be able to try to evade. Let's see. Escape. What is that in this edition?
I'm gonna look
That
at
would
that.
be...
Actually, that's all she wants to hold him for is one round. She's gonna come to her senses and let him go.
Oh, okay. All right.
Elias is going to say, Alex, he tried to save you. We all tried. Let him go.
She's let him go already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what made her let him go. She just came to her senses.
All right. Yeah. Well, he wouldn't have been able to escape unless you rolled really shitty to keep hold of him. But okay, you let go of Mr. Jeeves. Looks like you've regained some kind of control momentarily on your urges to strangle him. And
Yay.
I think this is a good place for us to wrap up.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Again.
I cannot believe you rolled a 99. Let me see what 100 would have been.
And a natural 20.
Yeah, and a natural 20. I mean, damn. 258 is what I said, right?
Yeah. So it sounds like there's a different effect for each number.
As if I remember anything from 3.5 edition and what we dealt with in Wolf's campaign, it's a range of numbers.
Yeah. It is. It would have been the same thing if you would have rolled 100. So you might as well have rolled 100 on that.
Cool.
Good job. Interesting roll.
Are we going to find out
This
what
actually works out perfect.
Oh, you're gonna find out. I just don't know how.
This works out perfect.
Seems like it might be. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, did we find out? Did we find out the last one, or is that just her being slightly crazy?
I thought I told you guys the last one.
Well,
She
that
kind
would
of made it a little bit apparent when she spoke to Strahd.
Regardless, it's something that I don't think that you should tell either one of your roles. I don't think that the players should know. So
Yeah.
you've been handling it great so far. We'll just continue to go with the way you've been dealing with it.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, my stupid fantasy grounds decided not to work right.
Well, we kept playing anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had a good bit of fun. We time traveled a little bit, skipped a few things, but here we are, alive again.
And rested, well, mostly.
Yes, well rested.
We'll have to apply that to Alex since she's back to life now, but next time.
Oh yeah, she had 1 HP, yeah.
She had 1 HP, but then when I leveled her up, she got a little bit more back.
All right, well that's where we'll cut it off. Good night, everybody.
Yay!
Thanks, Mike.
Hooray.